The tequila's been poured. You know what that means. It's time to go on a tour. A backlot tour. And I'm your host.
No, tour guide.
I'm your tour guide, Captain Zach. And is with me always, the Beans.
Or Jana.
Nope, don't care.
Wow, that's
Oh, it's
a
a
large
super
glass
glass.
of champagne.
Ooh, it's dripping. I'm recording. It's done.
Okay.
We're running out of tape.
All right. Welcome to Backlot Tours Podcast. We are your tour guides, Captain Zach and Beans. Today we are talking about the Star Cruiser experience and the improvements we think that they could make. We went on the Star Cruiser from April 4th to April 6th as part of our bigger Disney trip during spring break. My mom kept our kids at the hotel so we could have 2 kid-free nights on the Star Cruiser. This was actually a 40th birthday gift I bought for Zach. He turned 40 back in December, and this was his gift. A little delayed, but we got to go on it in April. So that was fun.
That's all. And that's the whole episode. That's all we're saying about that. And that was fun.
Yeah. So starting off, we arrived later than I intended to. You can arrive anytime between 1 and 4 p.m. to the Star Cruiser. And we decided to go to Animal Kingdom that morning with my mom and the kids. And we almost ran out of gas.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
So, yeah, we were delayed. We did not leave the park on time. But then on top of things, we were very, very low on gas. I think it said that we had
It was 0 miles.
It was 0 miles.
We were on the highway and it said 0 miles in the heat with 2 screaming kids.
I would not let him put the air conditioner on.
Oh, yeah.
Windows down the whole way. So
we were fine.
We ended up being fine, but it was really stressful and terrifying.
If you've seen the documentary where Kramer drives,
I have seen that.
The needle goes past it.
But I don't think that's if you look at my car's documents, 12 gallons is all it holds. And we filled up exactly 12 gallons.
I mean, I think there was probably some in the tubes. There's tubes. Tube gas. It's tube gas.
Anyways, we got back to our actual resort at Saratoga Springs and, packed our bags, got ready to go. And we went and we arrived at the Star Cruiser probably around 3:30.
First off, you drive up and it's a little bit weird.
Slow me down.
It was you go in, it's just a weird parking lot that's behind
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. And so it looks, there's not much pomp and circumstance when you're going until you get to the front.
It's so fun that you see the Star Cruiser signs and that big cement structure.
It's a big cement structure. It says, I'm sure you've seen the vloggers do it, but when you go there, it doesn't, I think they need to make it so you don't see anything going into it. So you feel a little more immersed already. Although when you get in, you are immersed. The second you get inside the actual...
Well, and I have to say on that note, you did not download the Disney Parks Play app ahead of time, but I've pretty much had that on my phone since it came out, and your reservation is linked in there. You can link your reservation in there because you have to use your phone on this, which they call a data pad, and there's a specific part to use. So... anyways,
for those of you who don't want to be on your phone the whole time, it's not going to be...
Well, we'll get there. A couple weeks beforehand, we started getting messages, about the situation on the ship.
We were you.
I did. I shared them with you because I knew you didn't have the app on your phone.
I don't remember this.
And it was fun, too, because you could see your itinerary on there before you actually arrived. Anyways, so they start trying to build the experience before you actually arrive.
You're basically,
which is really cool.
You're in the lobby, I'd call it, and you watch a training, what would you call that video? An initiation video, or what is the word?
What are you talking about?
When we got to the lobby and there was us and the other family, and they're we're right before we got on the transport. So there's a video.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
So
part.
There's a video that's it goes over what we're doing, I guess?
Right, what your cruise is all about and everything. How you're going to be going from planet to planet and have all these different excursions, kind of thing. Thank you for joining us.
It's a welcome video that you get on a cruise or something. But our luggage is already gone.
Yeah, so the valet is included and they take your luggage from you and they deliver it to your room, which is awesome. And that is where you get your special magic band.
You get your white magic band.
Which they call a data band.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, you're a baller when you have that on and they give you a special pin. So when you ever walk around the parks and you're wearing a pin and that thing, everyone's like, whoa.
They know what's up.
So we get to that and she's dressed to the nines. I'm dressed in a Hawaiian.
I was going for Padme. I bought the Amidala cloak before we arrived because if you have a reservation on Shop Disney, you can buy the Galactic Star Cruiser items 60 days prior to your trip and 30 days after your trip. So as soon as our window hit, I bought that Padme Amidala cloak as fast as I could. And it was beautiful and glorious, and I felt majestic and powerful.
Anyways, we get on the transport, and it has digital windows up top, like as you're looking like diagonally up, and you just see like trees and forests, and then it just blasts off and you're in space. And I don't remember that actually moving. Did it feel like it moved? I don't think it moved.
Well, you're going up an elevator, so...
That's an elevator? Or going down an elevator?
You're going up.
We went up?
We went up.
Where? There's no up. I don't remember seeing anything up.
It's only like a 4-story building, but you're going up.
Where was the building? I didn't see any building.
We were in the building. Like that whole cement structure, that we walk into.
I think we went down.
That's the building.
I think we went down. I don't know.
Into the ground?
Yes.
We did not.
All right, we went somewhere. Anyways, and then you open up into the atrium. And it's just this huge, like, open room with space all around you. Yeah. And just to let it be known, there are no windows on this thing.
Okay. So I will say one thing before we get to the atrium. You know, I wanted our pictures in front of the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser sign that's on the building. And the cast member, which I think they call them stewards in the Star Cruiser, she was just like, oh, you can always come back down and take your picture anytime. And I didn't like that just because it kind of takes you out of the element of like you're going up into space. Because, I mean, sure, you can come back down from space, but, you know, you're supposed to be on a cruise ship cruising, going from planet to planet and going through hyperspace. And you can't just go back down.
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 So it just kind of like took it out of there. And I didn't like the idea of like knowing I can just go back down anytime.
I didn't realize we could do that because there are no windows and no doors.
Yeah.
But there are no windows.
No windows.
They're all digital space windows.
Yeah, which I really liked actually.
So you can't see sunlight unless you go to the climate simulation room.
Which mimics the climate for your next excursion.
But it's basically a balcony you can only see up, so you can see the sky, and that's about it. And they have a bunch of plants and like a rock garden.
It was really nice. It was very zen.
I mean, it mimics the temperature and climate of Batuu. Yes. So it was hot.
Yes.
So you go outside and it's hot.
Yeah.
But it's the only outside area you can get to. Although we almost went we went outside accidentally at one point.
Yeah.
In some place
through doors. I don't think we were supposed to go through.
We were not supposed to be good.
We were not supposed to go through there. Anyway, so we walk into the atrium and we're greeted by a steward who took us to our cabin. I don't think he did a very good job. He kind of stumbled over everything, and because we were arriving at like 3:30, he was like, oh, you missed the tour and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, why can't you just take us on a quick tour of the ship? And after the fact now, like, knowing how small the ship is, it's like, it would have taken like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, because it's like 4
and
levels.
We got like no explanation so we go to our cabin and we come back out. Zach's like, I'm going to go get a drink at the bar or the Starlight Lounge. And while he's in there, all of a sudden a muster starts happening. And I'm just like, I have no idea where we're supposed to stand or be because they have you like divided into 4 groups. And I think those groups were assigned during your tour of the ship.
I mean, so we were fine.
We were fine.
I was in the bar and it was empty. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I just heard yelling. So I come outside after I get my drink. And everyone's just yelling. I don't even know what they were yelling, but I was a little lost. It was fine, though, because I had a beer. So
I did not. I was standing with strangers very closely and having to yell. It was fun yet uncomfortable.
I'm not going to be forced to yell. No, thank you. So the hotel rooms, I feel like are like 3 hallways, separate hallways, and they're like long hallways.
So there are like 3 or 4 levels that have cabins in them, and it's just a single long hallway. At least the floor we were on.
We were in the very end, which kind of sucked because it was.
I kind of liked it because it seemed a little more private.
I mean, but it was quite a trek to go all the way over there.
It was.
It's a scary.
It was
long
probably
hallway.
like 100 meters.
Meters.
Yeah.
Meters. Are you
It's
Canadian?
like the length of a football field.
Those are yards.
I'm thinking like when I did track and field, like the 100-meter dash, because that's pretty much the same. A little bit longer than
So
a
it
football
goes.
field.
The rooms were efficient, I'll say, because you could fit 5 people in our room easily, and it was not like a huge room, but it had 2 really interesting, cool bunk beds that kids would love.
Yeah.
A fold-down bed.
And they would fit adults. We both got in them comfortably with room to spare.
You would probably hit your
Not
head.
together,
If you woke up in the middle of the
separately.
night, you'd hit your head, though. Like, you'd smack your head.
Well, if you just popped up, yeah.
I mean, I don't know who does that, though, but...
Yeah.
And you have a queen-size bed and a giant digital space window to show you where you are.
Yes. And there is space for your luggage underneath the bed. Like there's a little carve-out section for it, which is cool. And there's even like a little table with
The chairs go
ottomans.
into the
Yeah.
wall, and the table comes out of the wall.
Yeah,
it was,
it's
it was
really
nice
cool.
actually. I was like, I think all hotel rooms need this over here. Actually,
I mean, rooms on cruise ships are very small.
it felt
And
like a
this
cruise
was
ship.
like
It had
that.
it had a nice shower and a nice little bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom was actually pretty nice. I was surprised,
I
and
think
it
it was-
had robes that were very comfortable.
It had robes.
I really like that robe. I keep meaning to Google like what company supplied the robes so I can buy one.
Anyways, that's enough about this room. We keep talking about this room.
The pillows were really good too.
It was fine. It was serviceable.
The pillows were awesome.
Anyways, we leave the room and immediately go to the gift shop, I'm pretty sure, because you love gift shops more than any other human on
Gift
earth.
shops are my most favorite thing.
I
If
can't-
there
I
is
don't
a
know how many
gift shop,
times
I will.
You went into the gift shop, which is not a very big gift shop, and you knew everything was in there.
No, and that's one of the things I think they can improve on is having more merchandise and having the merchandise in stock.
I mean,
There's a lot of jewelry out of stock.
we
that's what it's
immediately bought the 2, like we bought 2 of the hilts that are
Yes.
special for the
And
Starlight cruise
So
liner.
the lightsaber hills are limited to 2 per cabin.
Yeah, they mark you down so you can't buy a bunch because they go
Yeah.
for like $350 to $700 on eBay. So they're like, we don't want people to make money off of this. Although everyone's making money off of everything there apparently.
They also want to, have the actual guests give the actual guests the opportunity to buy.
Well, we'll get into that in a
merchandise.
second because I have thoughts on some of their stuff there that should
Yeah.
be built into this price. Starting with alcohol.
Anyways, this muster happens.
Back to the muster? No, go past the muster. This
Well,
doesn't cut
okay,
the
so-
muster.
When does the First Order come in and say that they're investigating the ship?
I think we were like in.
Wasn't that during the muster? Because they usually do those
don't know.
things
They
when
introduced-
everybody has to be in the
They
atrium.
introduced the. I don't remember the singer, but the
Gaia.
She wasn't there this
No,
part.
she wasn't.
But the Rhodian was there, and I assumed they were talking about the Rhodian the whole time. That like the DJ. I thought they were talking about her as like the superstar because the Togruta that was there too was like, oh, I'm a big fan,
But we'll get to the Dakuruta later.
But and then the captain who was blue, I don't know what species she was supposed to be. And then the other one was just not painted.
No,
The first
she was
command,
human.
human. She was one of the humans. So they give you the whole spiel, kind of set you up.
Yeah, kind of like when you're on a cruise ship and you all have to gather to go over like the safety training and the welcome to the ship kind of thing.
And
It was
Gaia's
like that.
manager's there, and they and the people that are in your not cast members,
So I
crew members,
think
we'll
it
say.
is at this time that the First Order boards the ship and says that they're under investigation.
Yeah, so the officer comes in with 2 stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Or what do they call for First Order troopers?
They're still stormtroopers, I think.
Okay,
They're stormtroopers.
We'll call them Stormy. We'll call them Stormies. But like I mean, as things always go, the villains are more interesting, and the First Order officer did not disappoint because he was way more interesting to watch act.
I think he was also just a better actor all around.
Ooh, just shit on everyone over
No,
there.
I mean, like there was definitely a lot of cheese in the acting.
There is some
it was
cheese.
Fun.
There's definitely some cheese. It was a little saucy.
It kind of reminded me of like when you're seeing like a play, like
Yeah,
theatrical play.
you're watching a play act like unfold, which is fine because I think a lot of the younger people there were really getting into it. I mean, we were into it too, but like they were like the kids that were like 8 to like 15 were like enthralled, and they were
Oh yeah.
they were super. It was really fun watching younger generations just really, really, really get into Star Wars. So that was nice. But as far as like older crowds, I think some people were there to be like, I'm just here to just enjoy the environment. I don't really care about the story as much.
Yeah.
Although like the last night we're there, I don't want to like spoil
we'll
it. Yeah,
get
but like it gets crazy. So
Okay, so after the muster and everything, the First Order comes in. When you book your reservation, you have the option of doing a 5:30 dinner or an 8 o'clock dinner, and we opted for the 5:30 dinner. And so pretty much right after the muster, we had to go to dinner.
but we went to lunch first because you wanted to get lunch.
Oh yes, okay.
Because you're like, I'm not missing a free meal anywhere.
Well, I mean, you're paying for the meal.
I know.
So, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to get there at 1 p.m. because if you break this down by hour, it's like you're wasting money if you're not taking advantage of every hour and everything that it has to offer. Because it's not cheap, you know?
It's not.
It's not cheap.
I want to eat all your food.
Yeah, so I made sure the lunch was running from 1 to 4.
We wanted our space food.
Yeah. We ate like at 3:45. We got there like in the nick of time to eat lunch.
I don't think any breakfast or lunch we had more than like 10 people in the mess hall.
Yeah, it was nice.
Which is interesting. I think we just always missed the crowds, or they were just. I don't know if they were early or later.
Dispersed.
I don't know. It was.
Because there's such a
But
large
it's like a
window.
buffet style of like they just have all the stuff out that you can just grab whatever you want in like little cubes, like these little like trays that were cubed, and like everything fit nicely in this cube. And everything, I think most of the stuff we had was really, really good.
And I don't tolerate eggs well at all. And there was a dish there that one of the cast members recommended, and I was just like, oh, I can't eat egg. And he was like, do you want me to like get it for you without egg? And I was just like, yeah, sure. And he like brought it out freshly made without egg. Disney's always amazing for allergen stuff, but just to have that on the fly was pretty nice.
So we ate our meal.
Yeah.
And then we ate our another meal.
Yeah.
Because we immediately like got changed and went to dinner.
But it was so good.
It was good. And then our dinner was even better because that
dinner
first night
was amazing.
The first night dinner I think was the best just because
The bantha tips were really, really good. It's like
it's like a
3-course meal.
That was
Or is it 4, 5?
Well, they bring out the 3 different things, and then I think they bring out dessert, and I think so. Is that 4?
It's a 3-course meal, but
With
they
the
bring out
desserts.
with the dessert. But they bring out multiple things. It's like family style, multiple things for you to eat.
Yeah.
So like you get a menu, and it shows you everything that you're going to be having that night, and you get everything that is on the menu.
And during this time, they're doing the Gaia concert is about to happen for you.
And Gaia is a Twi'lek, although she pronounced it Twi'lek.
That threw me off. I never heard it pronounced like that, and I was like, wait a minute.
We looked it up, and apparently it can be pronounced either way, but Twi'lek sounded weird.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like how she's pronouncing it. Can you not do that?
So anyways, we're watching the show, eating dinner, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this Togrucho comes and sits at our table.
Yeah, this guy with a guitar in his full makeup. He's like, "Hey, can I sit here? I kind of crashed." And we're
His
like,
name is Sandro.
Sandro, and he's
Sandro.
like Sandro, and he just sat with us, and we're like, "Oh, okay." And it's not like we didn't know he was part of the show, but
Right.
to be fair though, there was another like lady who was dressed in full Twi'lek the whole time.
Oh, she looked.
that I thought she was
part
of
of
the
it.
show.
Like
I thought
she had
was part
like
of
with
the
how
crew.
good her makeup and costuming was. It was just.
But
like,
she was not. And I'll say that like I think 70 to 80% of the people were dressed up
in some way or another.
Yeah, I think if you
At
get
the very least, the people in casual clothing were still wearing Star Wars related clothing.
you get it, you get out of it what you put in, kind of.
Yeah.
I think because I think some people, if they complain about, they're going there to just hate on it, and it's like, what's the point, guys?
Or if they're just not even going to try to buy into the fact that, like,
Yeah, it's like just
you're
have some
going to
fun.
space.
You're going to space, have some fun.
Yeah.
Just buy into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Have a little imagination. But we're dressed up. We're watching the show, which is actually
I wore Padme's river dress in the infamous "I don't like sand" scene.
I was wearing I guess
Jedi robes.
black Jedi robes.
Yeah.
And then so the show's happening, and she plays like a full like 8-song set, I think. Like it was actually a lot, and I was like, this is kind of cool. And then they had the Rodian doing the DJing behind her. It was pretty awesome. I liked it a lot, and all the food was great. And then
But it's really cool that Sandro sat at our table.
Sandro
And
chose us.
He did choose us, and he
Sandro
like
chose
asked us our
me.
names, and it was just like really fun. And then like the rest of the trip, anytime we saw him on board, he would come over and say hey, and like he remembered our names, you know.
He's like, hey.
So it was.
But he gets called up in the middle of the show to be like,
Yeah.
I hear one of my big fans is here, and he goes up there and starts actually playing the guitar, like it's a real guitar, and starts
Yeah.
playing. So because I wasn't sure if it was real because it didn't look real, it looked weird, like a turtle shell or something. I don't remember, but it was.
Yeah.
But I saw him playing in this ship just acoustically and just making up songs with people. So I know he can play because I couldn't. It looked like he was playing when he was
Yeah.
up there, but. We get through the dinner and then we just go exploring and just go to the
Well,
bar. I
and
think.
Stormtroopers did come in during the dinner.
Yeah,
at
the
some
first
point,
order guy
but-
sat at the captain's table and was just there for a little bit.
Wasn't that the second night?
I don't know. He was there both nights, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, not too much going on with the first order, but it was, I think, around this time that like we started getting messages on our data pad from various people on the ship, like various characters, you know, with like things to do. And there are like these console pads and random parts on the ship that you can like scan your data band and try to complete some of these things.
And they were really like we had to go to the engine room. And my complaint about this is like there's a bunch of cool interactive things you have to do. The problem is everyone's doing them in front of you, so you kind of see what happens. And so it's kind of like you're waiting in line sometimes to be like although there's like 5 different tasks that you could be assigned to. So hopefully the chances of you doing your own is
and
like
the cool thing too, there were like a
slimmer.
bunch of different rooms on the ship. There was like the engineering room, the cargo room.
well, we didn't even find the cargo room until later because we didn't even know it was there.
But it was no, we did find it. It was just
We
locked.
did find it. No, and then we went through it later.
No. We found it the first night, but it was locked. We couldn't access it. And then
I could access it.
no, you couldn't.
I got mad
And then
access
after
skills.
like
I'm a
we
hacker.
completed some missions on Batu, we were able to access it.
We didn't complete the missions on that too.
Actually, 2 of the missions were just riding Millennium Falcon and
we
riding.
were scanning things though, and like being like, "Oh yeah, we got it," and it was nonsense. It was nothing. I don't think we were doing anything right.
No, I think we were just doing the normal Batu.
It was very
stuff.
bright outside and hot, and people were sitting all over the stuff we were
Well,
supposed to scan.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, yeah, we will. But anyways, there was like this interactive element that like is kind of cool of like doing things in sequence or like figuring out like how to do something. It was all like, and things would like steam
And
would shoot
Chewie
out.
was in there.
And then Chewie shows up, and we're just like, whoa.
And then there were
Chewbacca.
times that like the stormtroopers were in there.
Yeah, they would kick you out. They would like get like
Stormtroopers
pushy.
were rude.
But she was asking about what their 401ks are like and their health benefits and their vacation. They
I
were
was
not
trying,
liking
like,
that.
I mean, the lieutenant or commander or whatever was trying to recruit me on my data pad. So I was just like, I want to know what it's like to actually work for the First Order before I sign up.
Oh yeah, you can choose to be like a spy for the First Order if you want, or
Work for the Resistance or be a scoundrel.
just be like
Han Solo, Hondo kind
just
of
be like,
character.
I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill.
Yeah.
Like I will go where it's profitable.
Yeah.
But that happened, and then I think we went to the bar for a while, and they have this. No.
No, I don't.
Because remember, there's that droid going around. We hang out.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. So what had happened was
What had happened was
there was supposed to be sabacc training in the bar, and we went and sat at a
And no one
table
was there
for a
to do
while.
it.
And well, there was like a waitress that came over and asked like, "Oh, are you here for the sabacc training?" It's just like, "Yes." And she's like, "Okay, well, get somebody over here." And like, 20, 30 minutes later, nobody had come over, but SK2O had come in and I got to say hey to him.
Side
He
note,
was so cute.
we
I
didn't
loved
get to
him.
use the
I got my
sabacc
picture
table.
with him.
There was this holographic sabacc table that they have.
But that's tomorrow night.
But I'm just saying, like, we didn't get a
That's the
chance to
next
do it
night.
because there was like always people on it, and now we know why, because it's awesome.
Amazing. We hogged it for 2 or 3 hours.
All right, we're running a little long, so this is broken into 3 parts. So stay tuned for part 2.